What's up, guys? It is Jack and Jeff from AchievementHunter.com. And Jeff, we've got a special 5 facts today. We are taking a look at the Pac-Man franchise.
The entire franchise?
The entire franchise.
All right.
Including that really terrible 3D Pac-Man from forever. And actually, no, we're probably not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the side-scroller.
How about the cartoon?
Oh, there was a cartoon.
It was awesome.
Oh, man.
I loved it when I was a kid.
Man. So, anyway, this is Pac-Man, and this is going to be fun, Jeff. So, what was your first time you played Pac-Man?
Geez, God. I'm thinking it... Listen, man, I'm old. I don't remember. A long ass time ago.
I'm thinking maybe I played mine at like Mr. Gaddy's or something. Like there may have been like a mini arcade or something. That or like Aladdin's Castle or the Gold Mine in Highland Mall.
There was a Pizza Inn in Oregon where I lived that had Joust and Pac-Man. So it was probably, and it was one of the sit-down Pac-Mans.
Oh yeah, the tabletop ones.
Tabletop.
Yeah, there was definitely a cocktail, I think is what it's called. There was definitely one of those, the Mr. Gaddy's. That we used to go to when I was a kid. Because I remember like having a drink on top of the game, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so crazy!"
Yeah,
and
the quarters don't slide off.
Yeah, and like they had that weird thing where did you see the ones where the screen would flip? Like it would have two sides, and you could like flip it so the person on the other side could play. But yeah, I mean, Pac-Man is one of those games. It's funny you mentioned Joust. It always seemed like it was like Pac-Man, Joust, and Galaga were like always next to each other. You know,
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Sort of like that triumvirate of games, but. I don't know if that's the correct use of triumvirate, but whatever. Hey, let's talk about some facts in Pac-Man. Number 1, the name Pac-Man comes from the Japanese term paku-paku, which describes the sound of munching on something. Bonus fact, Pac-Man was originally called Puck-Man in Japan, and if you've watched Scott Pilgrim, you know these facts.
Yeah, or if you slept through Scott Pilgrim because it wasn't a good movie, you might have forgotten that part.
That was Scott Pilgrim's pickup line to girls.
Was it?
Yeah, like he'd be playing video games and he mentioned that, like it was so clever.
Wow, and he was having trouble getting laid, huh?
Yeah, well, actually, no, he gets to hook up with Mary Elizabeth Winstead or whatever her name is.
Eventually, yeah.
She's hot, man. Ramona Flowers. Moving on.
All right, creep.
Thank you. Pac-Man was only 24 kilobytes in size when it was released in 1980. 24 kilobytes. That is so small.
Yeah, dude, that's
I think this text file I'm looking at right now is actually bigger than 24 KB.
It probably is. There's probably more text in it.
Yeah, that's pretty insane, man. Like that, it's crazy to think like how like. I guess just big files have got. I mean, like Flash now is like 70 megs, and like I think we talked about on the Doom 5 facts. Like Doom was like 20 megs when you install that, and
it's
crazy.
Like,
and Pac-Man is something 24 KB. I can't even describe how small that is.
And now we're jamming games on the Blu-rays.
Yeah, now we're getting 90 gig games or whatever. All right, number 3, there are 255 playable levels in the original Pac-Man arcade game. The 256th level is corrupt and unbeatable.
Lazy coding.
I wonder if that was just like, I wonder if it was 255 specifically for like a math reason, like, or if they just like literally pushed it as far as they could.
I don't know.
And that 256 level, I wonder if that's. I've never seen it. I wonder if it's similar to like the kill screen in Donkey Kong.
Probably somewhere
you
on those
see
lines.
yourself, but not really. Whatever. All right, number 4. Each of the ghosts in the first Pac-Man game have their own special tracking algorithms to keep the gameplay fresh. The red ghost likes to chase Pac-Man from the front. The orange ghost moves around randomly. The blue ghost moves towards Pac-Man as a center point, and the pink ghost moves 32 dots in front of Pac-Man.
Are you serious?
That's pretty crazy.
I had no idea that much thought went into those stupid ghosts.
What were their names? It was like Pinky, Blinky,
Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde.
Clyde, that's
right. Right?
Clyde was the orange one, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's impressive that you remember that, Jeff.
Yeah,
All right, last but not least, when Google created a playable Pac-Man logo for its front page on May 21st, 2010, the game was played for almost 5 million hours. Wow.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
I remember when that happened. I think it was on like Kotaku or Joystick or something mentioned it.
So Google making a playable Pac-Man logo was responsible for 5 million hours of people playing the front page of Google. So I'm guessing they were also partially responsible for the recession and at least 500,000 people losing their jobs.
You think the guys at Bain Capital or not Bain Capital, whatever,
Like Enron or KPMG.
Yeah, they're sitting there just like screwing around, playing Pac-Man instead of working.
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They're like, is this loan good? And he's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just push it through. I'm sure it's okay.
Yeah, housing market's collapsing. Whatever. I almost got this one clear.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Pac-Man is definitely one of those classic games, and it's one of those that you're always going to spot, like people recreating it or, seeing it in classic arcades or anytime someone has, like their own personal arcade at their house, you're always going to see
it. And they're finding a way to still be really good. Like Pac-Man CE is a fantastic game.
Yeah, and now this is the first true sequel, like 30 years after the original game came out.
Yeah, and
right?
I remember like when that game came out, Gus and I were addicted to it for about 2 weeks.
That's pretty cool. I love the game. A game could, as simple as Pac-Man is, it's still something about it is enjoyable. It's like base gaming at its core.
And they find a way to tweak that very simple gameplay to continue to make it challenging and fun and different and feel fresh. You know?
Exactly.
Which is pretty impressive.
And so something about those classic arcade games that just like they persevere. You know, like something like 1942 and Pac-Man and Galaga and like Joust. It's like so simple, but.
Yeah, Joust sucks, but
well,
you're right about Galaga.
Okay, Tron. How about Tron? Is that okay?
Okay, I'll go with Tron.
All right, cool. All right, well, that is 5 facts in Pac-Man, and we will see you next week for even more.